A franchise that sold over 57 million units and racked up about $3 billion since 2001 should need no introduction. And I guess that's the point here with the Master Chief Collection. For the past 13 years, Halo has taken over lives in the form of novels, comics, animated and live action features, as well as action figures and even Mega Bloks. Not even to mention stuff like Red vs. Blue, which now has its own massive following. Halo did something that not many games were doing back in the early 2000s. It gave us genuinely enjoyable gameplay over and over, to the point where it felt like Bungie had developed a formulaic method to actually making fun. It gave us interesting enemies and expansive battlefields on which to create war. But what was more important and ultimately more impactful was that it gave us a story. We somehow became attached to the Green Iron Giant and his sassy AI partner within a few hours. See, that had never happened to me before. I always played games because, well, I just loved games. But Bungie made me care about the Chief and Cortana. They made me care about their adventures and struggles as characters. When I was 13, my dad took me to wait in line at GameStop in the freezing cold for the Halo 2 midnight launch, and it's a tradition I ritualistically maintain 10 years later. This would explain the killing that Halo has made in other mediums. People care. It is because of this fact that the Master Chief Collection exists. What we have here is a comprehensive accumulation of everything Spartan 117 has had to do with the franchise. I'll go into more detail in a second, but let me reiterate that this is Halo as it pertains to the Master Chief, as well as a curated multiplayer. Nothing more. Now, I'll have to do this review a little differently since it is a remake and a collection release. I'll break it up for both Halo veterans as well as any newcomers and give it my final score like usual. The Master Chief Collection compiles Combat Evolved, Halo 2, 3, and 4. This obviously leaves out ODST, Wars, and Reach, which are still great and worth picking up. Halo 2 Anniversary was a big draw for this title. 10 years after the original, it's been completely polished, bringing it closer to today's standards. Another interesting point to note is that not only has the orchestral score been remastered, but so have a majority of the sound effects. Gunfire is much more dense and thunderous. Some sounds like the energy sword have been changed entirely. Just like in Combat Evolved Anniversary, pressing back on the controller will take you back to the original sound and visuals. The difference here is that the swap is instant. The 360 took a few seconds to switch engines, which was to be expected, but that took away from the dramatic changes that had been made over the last 10 years. Now that we're working with a more powerful machine, the switch takes no time at all. Not only that, for Halo 2, you can switch back and forth between original and remastered cutscenes. Halo 3 looks a bit cleaner around the edges, and Halo 4 is basically just a straight port over from the 360. If you're a hardcore fan, you're most likely only watching this to confirm the opinion you've already formed for the title, so I'll just go over my main points. It bothered me for a second that Spartan Ops was taken out of 4. A minor inconvenience because of all the fun that I had in that mode, but it's nothing you can't get over. And it bugs the hell out of me to watch Halo 4 run at 60 frames per second. I'll admit that it's completely naggy of me, but that's what we're supposed to do as the hardcore, right? Nitpick? I'll get over it eventually, but the cinematics look like they're sped up 1.5 times. It's just enough to get under your skin. Playlists have been added to the campaign section. Stuff like big vehicle maps or lasso challenge playlist. It's very surface level stuff and kind of disappointing when you think about what could have been done here. A grunts or hunters only playlist would have been cool. Something to change up the gameplay a little bit more than auto selecting what maps or difficulty you have set. Imagine all AI carrying around only fuel rod cannons or rockets. How much a shift that would be in tone and pace. You would have to drastically change a playstyle you've become used to in maps you're so familiar with. Think about the shock and increase in replay value. Wasted opportunity. Avatars, nameplates, and other such fluff have been added and can be unlocked by completing various objectives within multiplayer and campaign. It is the epitome of pointless, but it gives all the completionists and diehards out there a reason to run through levels that they know better than their own family members. The Master Chief Collection comes with all traditional maps from all 4 titles, as well as 6 maps from Halo 2 which have been given the anniversary treatment. You can either play the revamped originals, or you can play with the tweaks that 343 has put on them. For instance, the monumental cult classic Blood Gulch has been given 2 additional bunkers toward the center of the map, breaking up that boring stretch of hills and offering up new ways for the battle to be carried out. Forge is a map editor that allows you to rearrange each arena as you see fit. However, this mode only works in Halo 4, 3, and the revamped Halo 2 maps. Theater is another awesome mode that allows you to go back and watch campaign and multiplayer matches in any speed from any angle. Unfortunately, Halo 3 is the only campaign that this mode works for, but it will work for Halo 4, 3, and revamped 2 multiplayer maps. A collective multiplayer was also a must-have for me as a Halo fanboy. All those maps on one disc, I don't even have to scrape my lazy ass off the couch anymore. As I watched the Halo 2 Anniversary documentary, one thing that got me really excited as we neared launch was this. A red dot sight and suppressor for the SMG? This couldn't be cosmetic. This meant ADS. At the very least, a tighter grouping or decreased reticle bloom. This meant undetectable motion tracker. This meant a revamp to gameplay as well as maps. This was nowhere to be found. Sure, you have loadouts, but guess what they're good for? No, go ahead, I'll wait.
Dick. They're good for dick because the matchmaking is absolutely broken.
I've tried everything, and the Halo 2 Anniversary playlist was the only place I had any luck. Even then, it would take around 6 minutes to find a match that lasts about 5 just for me to be disconnected from the lobby and sent back to the menu to start the process all over again. Even the Big Team Battle playlist, a compilation of maps that spreads over all 4 titles, brings up no lobbies. Complete network failure on day 1 of launch is a doozy, one you can recover from, but it still hurts. Complete network failure for the entire first week of launch is nothing short of unacceptable, especially for a Titan developer who holds the reins of a Titan IP like Halo. It simply is not acceptable. On the 17th, 343 Industries announced that a patch would be coming to fix all issues on the 19th. As of this recording, that's yesterday. That's excellent. Over a week after release. That's a failure in my book. Also because, as of recording this video, multiplayer is still broken. Now, back to campaigns for just a second. Back in 2007, Bungie scattered hidden terminals throughout the levels of Halo 3. When these terminals were found, the player would be prompted to activate them and read a little extra tidbit into the backstory of what was happening within the narrative of the game. In the following games, the terminals unlocked full cinematic scenes that opened up the Halo universe even further. This helped build context for events as well as supplement or hint at any other information the hardcore audience was picking up in the novels or comics. This brings me to another clunky issue the Master Chief Collection has. When the player finds a terminal, they are once again prompted to activate it. Upon activation, the terminal opens up the Halo Channel app within Xbox One, which I'll go into in a second. Once the Halo Channel is open, it does absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing, actually. On every single instance, it has sent me right back to the pause menu. Now, if this were to work as it was intended, we wouldn't have a problem. But now we have 3 more problems. Number 1, why would you integrate your physical software into another piece of software? Why not just keep the videos on the disc instead of unleashing a stream of unnecessary commands? Instead of directing me to an app, it would be much easier to, I don't know, play the damn video off the disc. Number 2, why in the hell does the Halo channel even exist? Halo Waypoint looked and felt much nicer, but more importantly, it worked. 343 tried to fix something that wasn't broken, and now they've completely embarrassed themselves. I mean, why wasn't this function even tested? Well, I guess multiplayer networks weren't even tested, so this should come as less of a shock. And number 3, Halo Nightfall was supposed to ship with the Master Chief Collection. On launch, you couldn't even find Nightfall, but they fixed that. Now you can see it. Hell, you can even select it. But watch it? Nah. It'll take you to the next video in the Halo channel library. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 4 nicely sized mistakes that 343 Industries has managed to pull off within 24 hours of launch. Kudos. I love that this collection exists. I do. Because of this, I'll continue to play through the series over and over again. From an objective standpoint, as a piece of media that's currently going for $60, it's hot garbage. Half of the content doesn't even work yet. Even though I want to give it some leniency because I'm sure it'll be fixed in the future, I can't. I have to review the product as is. And as of this recording, it falls right around the 5 out of 10 mark. Broken, empty, full of disappointment. Well, that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you like this video, please be sure to give us a little thumbs up down there, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can always keep up with all RPG shenanigans on Facebook. My name is Trey Quintero, and as always, thank you for watching.